Would you like to take a guess which gluten-free brownie mix is the best?
Obviously, this will be subject to opinion, but I will tell you what I think after, yes, trying them all.
So once upon a time, I did a Walmart pickup order, of course, and I didn't know which one to pick, so I put them all in my shopping cart with the intention of, you know what, I'm going to find out which one of these I like the best because for the love of God, now that I've decided to eat gluten-free, I need some brownies, right? So I, over the past couple weeks, have tried each one of these out. Pillsbury, Krusty-As, I had never even heard of that, Duncan Hines, and King Arthur. And I'm just going to tell you quickly how they turned out. And no, I did not do concurrent documentation. I didn't take any pictures of anything along the way. This is just a quick, hey, oh, you went to the store and you need to get some gluten-free brownies. Let me tell you which one not to get. Because by the look of it, you'd think that they would be okay. And like I said, everyone has a different opinion and they might be okay. So the first one I started out with was Pillsbury. I thought, well, I mean, I could see like the chunks of chocolatey goodness in that. So I thought I would start out with that. I was curious because it uses sorghum flour and I thought, that kind of sounds like wheat's cousin, so maybe I'll start with this one, and if my body doesn't like it, I'll know. But my body did like it, and it was a pretty good brownie. Like, I didn't care to, like, devour it. Down you go. But it was good and not bad, and the extra chocolatey stuff in it was pretty good. So I thought, Pillsbury, you're in the running. You're pretty good. So the next one, yes, it all got eaten over the week. So the next one was this Krusty-As one. Krusty-As, that's probably not how you say it, but this one, it's so, Pillsbury Doughboy is so defiant. All right, so this one used brown rice flour, and it also had the chocolate chips in it, which I thought had to be a bonus for me. So going from Pillsbury to this rice flour one, it was not as good. This one was not as good because it was grainier, and like I was like, well, comparing number one and number two, I liked the number one better. So Pillsbury Boys stayed in first place. Like, this wasn't horrible, but just like wasn't anything that I would probably want to buy again. It got eaten. I thought it kind of had like a peanut buttery like essence to it, but there's no peanut butter in it. So maybe that was just the brown rice flour. So then the third one was Duncan Hines, and I seen it said keto, and I looked and it's almond flour, and I thought this is probably going to be pretty good. But to make a long story very short, it sucked. I did not like it whatsoever. As a matter of fact, I didn't have any of it, and I sent it to work with Chad, and it did get eaten by our friend Joe. But just so you know, Joe probably eats anything. He ate it. He said he liked it, but I would never get this one again. And because the almond flour just wasn't, it just was squishy too. You know what it was like? It was like a brownie that you're like, is this made from cocoa wheats? It was cocoa wheat squishy, and yeah, not really a fan. So anyways, then today I thought, okay, I got to make this fourth one so that I can declare a winner. Nobody's asked me to do this, but I volunteered myself. And I thought, well, let's see what's in this King Arthur. King Arthur, he uses rice flour, but also tapioca starch, and apparently a whole lot of sugar because it's the first ingredient. So I thought I'd give it a go. It looks like a basic B. I read that you could add chips, so I added chocolate chips, dark chocolate chips, and I gave it a go, not really expecting much from King Arthur. I was betting that Doughboy would be in first place, but King Arthur ended up being the best freaking brownie yet. Like, I know it just looks like a clump of dirt in front of me, but this is the best tasting clump of brownie dirt I have made of the lineup. Like, it totally blew Pillsbury Doughboy out of the freaking way. It was just like, move. The king came through and was like, move, Doughboy. Let me show you how this is done. And the king did not work alone, because I put in my favorite chocolate chips, Ghirardelli 72% cacao. I mean, these things are like a treat in themselves. So I put a handful of these in. And it just ended up being freaking awesome. Like, the edges are crunchy the way I like them. It's ooey gooey goodness. That's how I like my brownies. I don't want no cakey brownies. I want something that is gonna actually hit this spot. So I'm excited about this one. And when I go to reorder, I'm just gonna probably stick with the king. Yeah, it's really good. I will tell you that it said to cook it for 45 minutes, and it literally took an hour. So it took a lot longer to cook at 325 in glass. You'll need a whole stick of butter. Yeah, it's like a whole meal. 2 eggs, water, and then yes, put in some of them really good chocolate chips. Anyways, thanks everybody for participating. I hope there are no hard feelings. But yeah, the king certainly came through.